Hello, my name is Lance Weldgen Jr., and this is an informative presentation about community service hours. I received many questions about that, and this presentation hopefully should help you answer all of your questions related to the requirements for community service. Community service hours are required for graduation and to receive your diploma. So hopefully this helps. Here you'll notice pictures on the next few slides, and these pictures are intended to inspire you to see what different community volunteer hours you can do and to maybe promote some discussion. You could work at a city park, national park, clean that up. You could help paint. There are different clubs that need volunteers, like Boys and Girls Club. Deaf clubs need volunteers. There are many different places that you can help out. Like Arbor Day, you can plant trees throughout the city. The purpose for this presentation is so that everyone can understand and know what the purpose is for community service hours. It's important because it is a requirement for graduation, and then I'm hopefully going to eliminate confusion on where you can find some community service work. So again, here's some more pictures. You can volunteer at a daycare, a senior citizen center. You can volunteer at a 5K run. I did one before and it was fun. Or a building group or habitat homes. I did that in the past before too. That was a good experience. Community service really focuses on the volunteer participation and how people are able to give back to their local communities. This is on volunteer basis. It is to serve and help students and individuals develop their characteristics and citizenship and morale within their community. It's to help them also improve their local community that they live in. Volunteer services, there are plenty of volunteer services. If I do this, I get paid? Nope, you have to give your time, and it's going to help us recognize the different ways we can participate in the community. So no money is given into this. I know some of you might be like, oh, why do I have to do this? I don't really want to. But is that the kind of person you want to be in your community? So you can click this link here, and it has various reasons on why we are doing community service. You can look at that link, and it is really a great extensive list. So hopefully that'll inspire you to want to give back to your local communities. Again, here's the picture. You can work at a donation center, like the Salvation Army, a resale store. There are plenty all over the state. A food pantry that's typically housed at churches or different agencies, organizations, human service organizations. Some people are hungry and they don't have enough money to afford groceries. You could volunteer by doing that. For example, one moment. For example, there's, you see the picture on the bottom right, that is a local food donation center. They're driving through, kind of like a drive-through food donation center. So you could do that. All right. And so now that you're excited, there are 4 quote unquote best friends that'll help guide you on these years. So your first best friend is your one-stop shop is WSD's website. When you go into that website, click on academic, and then there's a high school/transition tab, and then there's community service, so that all the information you need to know about community service is right there. Second best friend is the guidelines. The guidelines, it doesn't matter what you do necessarily in the community, but it just has to follow specific guidelines. Again, this website will hopefully answer most, if not all, of your questions. Best friend number 3 is your school social worker, who is me. So anytime you're not sure, you have questions, you have some challenges, you haven't gotten hours, make sure you contact me and we can work together. Maybe you need some skills training on how to volunteer at a specific spot. Maybe you need to get a foot in the door and I can help you do that. Your 4th best friend is your family, your case managers at WSD, your community service members or different community members, the city council. Make sure you contact those kinds of people in the community because they have various amounts of work, various kinds of work that could be volunteer. And if you come up with your own ideas and you're just inspired to work and volunteer, you'll just be a great citizen. There's a few more pictures. You could work at an animal shelter. There with horses, dogs, anything like that. You can volunteer to walk dogs. It's good exercise. Give the dogs exercise, feed the dogs, and just play with dogs. Animals are our friends. So here are some common mistakes that I want you to avoid. And I'll explain them briefly here. So volunteering means there is no compensation. There is no paycheck, no money given. It is all volunteer, non-paid. Your parents, family member, aunt, uncle, mom, dad, etc., cannot be your community service supervisor. It can be someone you know, that's fine, or a community member from an agency, that's fine, but it cannot be a family member. And then as far as the hours at WSD are limited to 10 hours. Only 10 hours can be completed on WSD's campus. The goal is to have the majority of your hours, about 75% of them, completed outside of WSD. The reason being is because after graduation, typically students go back home to their local area, and they don't know their local area if you use all your volunteer hours at WSD. So this gives you an opportunity to see what's around and available in your area and what potential jobs you might want to work at. Some more things to avoid. Sometimes you keep going, you do this volunteer thing and it's not approved. So it does have to meet some guidelines. Contact me, and if I say it's approved, then go ahead. You can keep going. My approval will I just want to make sure that this is a legit community service opportunity and that's not a lie. I might have to contact the provider. And freshman, sophomore, junior year, you don't do any community service and then you wait all senior year to do it. Don't do that. That's tough. Don't do that to yourself. All right, here's a few more pictures to inspire you. You can work at a senior center or volunteer at a senior citizen center, play games, make cards, write letters. And sometimes senior citizens at the centers are super lonely. So then that can help you, like around Christmas time, Thanksgiving needs. So sometimes there's different camps that remodel and they take care of the yard work in the summertime, mow grass, mow the lawns, wash houses. So you can do that. There's plenty of camps out there for that. So here are both forms that you need to provide. There's a front and a back. Both are required. So it's simple. You fill out the top part, your name, your grade, explain what your activity is that you will be volunteering. And then I will ask where, the address, city, state, zip code. And then the supervisor is the person who I can contact to get some information. So put down their name and contact information. And then send it to me and I will approve. And the person who is supervising you must sign off on your hours. That's all on the front. And then on the back, there are 3 short boxes to ask questions. Don't just write, oh, it was a cool experience. No, try 3 to 5 sentences. I want this to help you explain how you helped. And as a senior, this will help you a lot. So back to the front. The person who is supervising you, make sure to get their phone number. If possible, get their business card. That would be great. Because then we know it's a legit business. It's a legit place. Other than that, it's like, oh, I'm not sure. Is this a real phone number or not? So just make sure you cover your bases that way. So a couple more things. Once you fill out the front and the back, if it's full, I will not accept it unless it is fully filled out. So you cannot give it to me unfilled out. Here are a few more pictures of ideas. You can plant flowers. There are many different places to do that. Different camps at schools. You can work at a cemetery, cleaning the graves, helping set up flowers there, mowing the lawns. Or maybe for Veterans Day. There's usually flags placed on the gravestones of veterans. So you could sign up to do that. They need the help. And they do it about 2 or 3 times a year, I think. Wait. 4 times a year for military service members. So really, you can help with that. All of the requirements are in the guidelines document. Hopefully that will be your new best friend. And you are expected to complete 40 hours before graduation. So that's how many hours you need. As a senior, when you total 40, that's great. Make sure it's hopefully a couple weeks before graduation that you give it to me so that I can make sure all the paperwork is ready and that you can wear the cords at graduation. So make sure everything gets done on time. We just make sure we need to get the signature, the proof, everything before graduation. We can't do that last minute. So please give that before graduation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm happy to help. few more pictures. Here's some in-person jobs, or if there aren't any in-person jobs available due to COVID, there are some examples of not in-person jobs. You can write a letter to an isolated community member or an email. You can work at the library or different organizations and do, there's different like family tree things to help out. You can research that for a family tree. That would be considered community service. Last year, a student came up and said, "Hey, I found this organization. Can I do this?" And I Googled it, and I checked what they provided and everything. And I think, yeah, sure, that counts as community service. So this person knitted and crocheted hats and scarves and blankets, et cetera, made all those to donate. That would count as community service hours. That would be volunteer service. So there are plenty of other people who need help, who I can accept those people as well. I will show you a few more things. So different pictures, after you saw the different pictures, some people will be like, well, where exactly can I find these volunteer opportunities? There's no exact formula to help you find the perfect place. You have to research and look at the information. Really, I depend on the internet search. Type in your town. For example, I live in Delavan. So I would type in town of Delavan volunteer opportunities. And then I can look at the different web pages that pop up. I can call town hall, the city hall, and say, "Hey, I'm looking for some volunteer work. Do you have any ideas of where I could start?" They might mention things. An election day, they always need volunteers to help on election day. And then you can experience working at the polls, and you have to match the name to the license and make sure everyone's who they say they are. It's really cool. So you can work at local county service buildings, like food shelter, library, senior citizen home, church, local events, 5K runs. There is just a variety. The list goes on and on. Also, you can ask your friends, family, teachers, mentors, neighbors, city officials, and a bunch of other people to help you look for these volunteer opportunities. So then you can develop this rapport with different people, because the more rapport and different relationships you have, the more opportunities for volunteering you will find. So it's a good skill for us to have, right? There's a few more inspiring pictures for you. Can donate the donation drive. Some people, if they join on different teams and they host this drive to see who can donate the most, that's great. Like a clothing drive, a toy drive, Christmas, blankets, food, coats, school supplies. There's various different drives that are available. So if you work on that kind of drive, if you lead that, yeah, great. Of course, I can support you, no problem. And again, the 5K run, you can see people handing out cups of water and the different runners. Most of these 5K runs, 6 to 10 hours. So that would be an easy, almost one-stop shop. Good luck. I hope you have some ideas soon. I'm guessing you will. If you still have questions, start with your church or a restaurant or a military area, different places in your town. Look for places in need that maybe they're not in great situations. Just make sure that you read the guidelines and make sure you get some pictures of yourself. Pictures of yourself working for the business and the organization, the agency. Take pictures of the sign, get a business card, take a picture with your supervisor who's watching you. Get those different pictures, because then when you become a senior, you will already have those pictures that when you need them during your senior presentation. So I hope this helped, and now you can go ahead and get a good start on those community service hours. All right, bye.